What's going on, guys? So in the hunt to try and figure out where the hell this thing is like making a clicking noise, we are now changing the passenger side axle. And I'm gonna change that wheel bearing as well. So I'll record that, but just a quick little tip. If you don't want to take the half shaft out, what you're gonna have to do is drop the rear mount so you can get some room. And then you're gonna take a brass drift or a punch, put it right there, give it a couple whacks with the sledgehammer, it'll come right out. And I have my handy dandy eBay axle that we'll be putting in. Like, it's weird. At first, put everything back together, it's making this howling noise. Couldn't figure it out, so changed the wheel bearing on the driver's side. That noise went away, then there was clicking noise after that. Changed the axle, still had a clicking noise. So changing the passenger side axle now. I checked the half shaft. The half shaft doesn't have any play in it, which I thought it did, so I bought a bearing, but I guess I can just kind of sit on that for now. And then, yeah, so hopefully it's this axle. And I'm gonna change the wheel bearing because I changed the axle and wheel bearing on the driver's side already, so I might as well kind of this process of elimination here. Like, this thing, ever since I broke the trans, has been a headache. It's just like, fix one thing and then there's a new problem. Or there was an underlying problem that I couldn't notice or hear until I fixed another issue. So, that's where we're at right now. But, yeah, just a quick little tip on that. I mean, you can drop the whole half shaft out and do the little axle trick that you drop in between the half shaft and here. You'll just drop a socket and just kind of beat it. It'll push it out a little bit, then you get a wider one and just keep going that way. But I did it the way with the punch. You just got to remove the rear mount so you have room to swing. Because if you don't, in there, I don't know how well you can see that, but the oil filter kind of gets in the way. And with the mount out of the way, it just makes it a whole lot easier to get a swing on it, put the punch where you need to. So, let me go ahead and take this off, and then I'll record a little bit of doing the wheel bearing. Alright, now normally, when you get the wheel bearing, alright, so we got the hub out. There it is right there. I do have a press, but I don't have everything that's going to make it so it's level on there. So we're gonna knock these out the old school way and put a socket on it. Put a socket on it, give it a couple whacks, it'll come right out. Now let me see where I can put this so you can see the fuckery I'm about to do. Dun, dun. Oh yeah, that's not sketchy at all. Alright, there we go. So, get your socket on there like so, and just give it a good whack. I get this bullshit on here a little bit better. Do it with that. Might work. Maybe a little bit bigger. There we go. And the hub's out. Now normally they'll tell you to cut the race, but I'm not good with a fucking die grinder and I'll probably fuck this hub up, so we're gonna do it another way and I'm gonna use heat, but I'll show you that later. Now as far as this goes, what you need to do once this thing focuses, there's a snap ring right here. You gotta take that snap ring out and then you can press it the rest of the way out. Or I'm gonna beat it the rest of the way out. So let me do that real quick and then we'll be back. Alrighty, so we got the snap ring out. Had to shoot a little PB blast on it just to kind of loosen it up. Now what you want to do, flip that back over, and we are going to put a spacer that pretty much fits. I can't remember. It's either probably that one, yeah, because that's beat to shit. So we'll put that, and then we'll put a socket, and we will go to town again. Make sure the camera is not gonna fall. Yeah, before everybody gives me shit, I know this isn't the right way, but I don't have all the stuff for my press to actually have this thing sit level, so just doing what I gotta do. Almost. Almost out of there. Still recording. There it is. Ugly, but that's what we gotta do. Alright, let me get this race. Let me get this set up and then I'll show you how to take this off. Alright, so here we are with my ghetto vise. And what we're gonna do, I'm gonna take this torch, I'm gonna heat up the race and take it off that way. The heat's gonna shrink it to where it'll kind of slide off easier. I watch everybody on the YouTube videos and I guess they're using a stronger torch because all they do is heat it up, like 30 seconds to a minute later it falls right off. But last time I did this, I had it on there for goddamn 5 minutes and the shit didn't want to fucking fall. So I'll wedge it out enough to get that puller on there and then I'll pull it off the rest of the way. So here we go. Maybe, yeah. You're gonna stay? I'll stay there? Hold on. There we go. Take this punch. Thing's hot as fuck. That on there. Big. There we go. Alrighty. Put that on there, put a little tension. Pop. And there it is. Grease is off. Let that stupid thing cool down. And we'll press the new wheel bearing in while we wait. I know it's not pretty, but you just gotta kind of make do with what you got sometimes. So, hey, I'm not a mechanic. So we got our handy dandy wheel bearing here. This was, how much was this shit? I think it was like 62 after tax from Advance. These are pretty much straightforward to put in. Only thing you got to do, okay, you've got this side, then you've got the brown side with the magnet. You want that to go inside of the hub, so the magnet side will be pointing inward when you press it in. Like I said, I really don't have all the right cups and everything for this press, so all I do is put this bearing underneath and then just drive it straight into the hub. And you don't really have to worry about like how deep you have to go, because it's just going to bottom out, because there's a lip right inside of here that it's going to stop at for that one. Now when you press the hub in, it's a different story, and I'll show you how I finagle that. But let me put some grease on this bearing, put some grease inside here so it slides in easy, and get this all set up, and then we can record pressing it in. Okay, got the bearing all situated. Make sure it's going in straight. I'm pretty much just using a bearing driver and a socket to pick up the slack. And then you just press it in. And make sure it goes in straight for starters. Jesus. That's crooked as shit. Even this out a little bit. Yep. And we're going crooked as fuck while I'm recording. Fucking typical. Okay, now that we got it going in straight, goes in so much easier. And you'll feel it when it bottoms out. There'll be a difference on it. That off. And as you can see, once it focuses, you want it in there nice and flush. You want to be able to, you want to make sure it goes past the snap ring groove. Like that. And then you just put the snap ring back in, and then you can press the hub in. So let me go put that in real quick and then we'll get back to this. Alrighty. Snap ring's in. And it's in the groove. You just want to make sure it's in the groove. You know what I mean? Because you don't want to be doing this twice, so yeah, just make sure it's in there, nice and neat. And let me see if this hub is cooled down enough so we can press it in. Now, when you're pressing the hub in, you want to make sure you have something supporting this center part as well, or it's just gonna, while you're pressing the hub in, what's gonna happen if you don't have anything supporting this, it's gonna push through, you're gonna fuck the bearing up. Only reason I know is because my dumbass did it. So I've got pretty much two of the bearing drivers, seal drivers stacked. So it's supporting the outer part and it's supporting this inner right here. And then we'll just grease this hub and press it in. So let me go do that and then we'll get back to pressing. And now we have the hub situated. So let's go press this in. Now this you don't want to go crazy with. Trying to get it back to where it was. Like you don't want the hub touching, that's for sure. That is literally the last thing you want to have happen. There it is. So I'm gonna put all this back together, and hopefully I finally solved the issue of like this little fucking clickety-clack bullshit noise going on. But pretty much you put everything back together in reverse order, so no real point on recording that. It doesn't make any sense. It's just a waste of time. So let me get this back together and then I'll get back to you. Still kind of shaking down this trans issue. Like, I got a little bit of clicking in here since I put it back together, and like I've changed main shaft, counter shaft bearings, I've changed both diff bearings, I've changed both wheel bearings, I've changed both axles, input shaft bearing, and I'm still getting the slight clicking. You can't hear it from the outside of the car, but you can kind of hear it in. I was using the Honda OEM transmission